The US government shutdown is stretching into its second day, and it's already unlike any shutdown we've seen before. President Trump is not just furloughing workers. His administration is openly considering permanent layoffs in the thousands. Tonight, Washington is locked in a bitter standoff, with Republicans and Democrats trading blame, while ordinary Americans brace for the fallout. The shutdown began when Congress failed to agree on a funding bill by the September 30th deadline. House Republicans passed a 7-week stopgap spending bill, known as a Continuing Resolution, or CR. Democrats blocked it in the Senate, demanding two things: an extension of Affordable Care Act premium tax credits, which expire at the end of the year, and new limits on the president's ability to unilaterally rescind funding already approved by Congress. With neither side backing down, federal agencies shuttered, workers were furloughed, and millions of Americans started to feel the effects. But unlike previous shutdowns where workers are sent home temporarily without pay, the Trump administration is weighing reductions in force, in other words, permanent layoffs. On Thursday, Trump said bluntly, "There could be firings, and that's their fault." Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt told reporters layoffs are likely going to be in the thousands. Trump met with his budget chief Russ Vought, praising him as someone who could trim the budget in ways you couldn't do any other way. Later that night, the president posted a video online depicting Vought as a grim reaper wielding a scythe, trolling Democrats as their programs and agencies face cuts. It was both dark humor and a clear warning. In the Senate, the gridlock deepened. The chamber adjourned Thursday without a vote, in observance of Yom Kippur. Majority Leader John Thune said Republicans need just a handful more Democrats to join them in passing the House bill. So far, 3 Democrats have crossed over, arguing that prolonging the shutdown hurts families in their states. But others, like Vermont Senator Peter Welch, insist that holding the line is the only leverage to protect healthcare subsidies. In his words, "Do we want to appease Trump? There's no end to what he'll demand." Democrats accuse the White House of manufacturing chaos. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries said, "Public sentiment will force Trump and Republicans to give in," calling the shutdown part of a pattern of cruelty and corruption. Senator Elizabeth Warren blasted Republicans for refusing to negotiate for months, saying, "We've been begging them to come to the table. Donald Trump just wants to impose pain to force Democrats to back down." Meanwhile, some furloughed Department of Education staffers found their automatic email replies had been altered to include Republican talking points blaming Democrats for the shutdown, raising serious concerns about politicization inside federal agencies. Economists warn the cost of this shutdown will be steep. According to EY Parthenon, every week of shutdown could drain $7 billion from the economy and cut GDP growth by 0.1 percentage points. Some of that will bounce back when the government reopens, but not all. For comparison, the 34-day shutdown in 2018-2019, the longest in history, cost the economy $11 billion, much of it unrecoverable. This time, the stakes are higher. With layoffs on the table, the effects may not simply vanish when funding resumes. Republican leaders say Democrats are the ones playing politics. House Speaker Mike Johnson accused Democrats of selfishness, saying they've rejected a clean, simple bill just to push partisan priorities. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent went further, calling Democrats weak and discombobulated, and insisting Trump is right to use all available levers to shrink government waste. In Trump's own words, Republicans must use this opportunity to clear out deadwood, waste, and fraud. The Senate will reconvene Friday to vote again on both the Republican and Democratic proposals. If neither passes, the shutdown could stretch into next week, with Congress potentially leaving town for the weekend. For federal workers, families relying on benefits, and millions of Americans, the uncertainty only grows. And as Trump signals he's willing to make permanent cuts, this shutdown may mark a turning point. Not just in Washington's politics, but in the very structure of the federal government itself.